So hello and welcome to another episode of Old Bloke Gaming. Today we are going to be taking a look at AI and why you absolutely cannot trust it in for Entropia. Now, I just want to show you a conversation that I had with ChatGPT. Okay, so here's ChatGPT, and I asked it what skills contribute to graduation in Entropia, and it came back and it told me confidently, confidently that you need to just get to level 10 in any one profession. If you're graduating via hunting, you're most common to get sniper hit, blah, 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 melee, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, obviously, that's not correct. All right. Now, so what I did is I questioned it and I said, from what I know, that's not true. Um, you gain in the bar for only gains in anatomy and then maybe mining and a crafting skill because I wanted to just push it. Obviously, I knew it was anatomy and I knew it. I actually kind of at that point wasn't 100% sure it was geology, but I thought, I'll just ask it general questions. I knew it was engineering. And so I pushed it again and it came back saying, da, 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 da. You're right to push back. Answer was wrong or outdated from entering graduation. So what actually contributes is anatomy, geology, and engineering. Now, I don't know how to. I wanted to push it again just to check that it was geology, not a mining skill. And obviously came back and said geology, anatomy, engineering, it's confident now. So we tested it and that's correct. Now, the thing for me is how how does it become so bad in the first reply? So I want to do something else. I want to show you a conversation I had with Claude AI. Just give me a moment. Right, sorry about that. So yeah, what I did was I had a chat with Claude AI. And I said, so I have a question. Can you figure out how or why ChatGPT answered the first question about how to complete graduation like this? Blah 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 blah. And I did the whole thing. And because I asked it about graduation. I've asked it a whole bunch of things. Don't want to show everything, but I asked it about graduation here, and it got it right. Okay, so it said that's an interesting comparison where ChatGPT got it partially right. The skills it listed are genuinely real skills, fine, but it doesn't matter. And then it got it blatantly wrong. Okay, why it happened? So ChatGPT probably doesn't have reliable, detailed documentation about Entropia's mentor-disciple system and its training data. So if the AI is not trained in what you are asking it, it will make stuff up. It will tell you confidently what it thinks is right, but that's no more educated than you or I. Actually, and I mean, actually, probably less educated than you or I, because we're checking all these kind of websites all the time. So I asked about what LLM is, and it's large language models. So the technology behind chatbots like Claude and ChatGPT were trained on huge amounts of text from internet books and other sources, which means they learn patterns in language. They don't actually research the topics that you're asking it. Now, if you ask it to specifically research, then it can go and do a deeper look. But unless you specifically say, actually, I need you to go ahead and make sure you do deep research in this and check this site and check this site, it will not go and do it. Now, what I asked it then is interesting because what I thought was okay. I asked about other ones, Claude, him. So I thought, okay. So I asked it, if we're starting out, if I pay money, are you going to be better trainable so I don't need to keep asking you to fact check me? And that honest answer was no. if you pay money, it still doesn't let you train it. It doesn't learn from things that you're putting into it. It can only learn from the same conversation that it has. So if you start a new conversation in a new browser, it will forget everything you've talked about. And that is actually one of the things that frustrates me about ChatGPT, because I've told it a number of times to, if I just drop in Japanese, just translate it. And it still doesn't just translate it. It drives me nuts. But anyway, so I actually, it was interesting, and I really wanted to do some extra tests. So I actually asked ChatGPT. I actually asked Claude after that. I said, okay, I want to what other games would you recommend me cover on my channel? I've asked ChatGPT the same question. I still haven't found a game, because if I'm going to do another game on this channel, I need to enjoy it. I'm not going to do it just because it's popular. I have to actually enjoy playing the game. So anyway, what I wanted to do was ask it what games it would suggest. And Claude suggested Ashes of Creation. Now, for those of you who know, um, clearly Ashes of Creation in the last week has basically died. It's crashed. There's no developers. They've laid off all their developers, and everything's going to court, or it's getting absolutely crazy. So I actually said, I don't think so. Can you check again? Um, and it came back apologizing, saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, oh my word." And so I asked it. I said, "Okay, I have another question. If I were to ask you the same question next week in a fresh conversation, would you now know that Ashes of Creation is gone?" And it said, "No, I would still answer probably the same as I answered before." And this is because the way that AIs are set up is they're set up to train at a certain time on certain content. If the AI, if the content has changed since that time, then the AI will not retain. Even if you teach it, will not retain the fact that it has changed. So why am I telling you all of this? So I guess why I'm telling you all of this is it really does come back to what is the most important thing in Entropia, and that is learning for yourself. It is having friends, talking to people, learning from people, writing things down, making sure that, you are constantly learning about different things in the game, and not relying on AI blindly to tell you what to do. You need to fact check it, okay? Especially with Entropia. I mean, I would recommend, even if you're doing anything in AI, that you make sure you fact check. But, you know, that's why people make such bad mistakes in AI in their working lives and really cause themselves trouble, is because they think AI is infallible, and it really is not. It actually doesn't necessarily understand what you're asking it. But in Entropia, what you need to do is you need to talk to people. You need to double check things. The amount of times that I have gone back to people in the game who I get on with, I don't necessarily know if they're going to help me or not, because obviously this is a game where if you can find a good niche, you're going to farm it for ped. I mean, that's the nature of the beast. But for example, if I were to ask ChatGPT what drops, you know, what's the lowest level of panel iron that drops the pristines, it will give me an answer. Doesn't mean it's the right answer. And that really is the moral of today's conversation. I just wanted to show you how bad it can actually be, because that that one for me, where I asked it, you know, what are the skills that are required to advance your disciple bar? and it gave me it basically said, no, you actually just need to complete a profession to level 10 confidently. So, moral of today's story, do not trust AI. You can use it, you can do part of your research on it, you can tell it to scrape sites. But always remember that data will only stay there for a certain amount of time. So you're going to have to ask it again to check this site, this site, this site, this site. And please let me know if you find anything about X. So that's it. Just a quick one. I just wanted to basically warn you about using AI in Entropia for, or relying on it too much at least. So I hope that helps you. Make friends, talk to people, ask people in the game instead. That is that's your bread and butter. That's who is going to, find people, share information, find people you can trust who are willing to share, and don't always expect them to share everything. Um, you know, I remember back to the interview I did with Eve, which was very interesting for me. He was talking about loot waves, and obviously, you know, ChatGPT is not going to be able to tell you anything about loot waves. It's just not. So you got to do the studying yourself. And why am I here? Because I'm waiting on a loot wave. I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but I'm testing out some theories because I want to know if they're correct, and I want to know whether or not the waves, what is coming in the waves, how often are the waves, and I'm testing. I'm testing all the time, and that's what you need to do. You need to find things with good markup. You need to find out where they drop. You need to find out how often they drop. And then you need to farm around those times. That's it. So that's it for today. I will leave it there. Thanks for watching. If you have any interesting experiences with AI or any suggestions on how to prompt AI better to get the information that you need out of it, please leave it down in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing some of your use cases or disaster cases. I mean, just whilst we're on that topic, because I'm going to do another video on skills in a minute. I've been trying to use AI to number crunch for skills. It just will not let me. I'm having to do it all manually because there may be a better way. Don't get me wrong. I'm a pretty much a noob when it comes to I'm pretty much a noob when it comes to prompting AI. Um, but it just makes assumptions. I mean, it's like, okay, no, that's not a skill, or that, oh, I didn't realize that was a skill. It's like you didn't make that obvious. It's like, but it's the same thing. It says you increase skills in X. It's like, come on, think about it. And it's very frustrating. So that's it. Please like, no, subscribe above, like down below, and watch some other videos over in the other side. Hope this was interesting for you, and I will see you in another video very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.